Good evening, the great people of Biafra, all over the world. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to some of you, depending on your place of domicile. And I welcome you to tonight's exposition of the enemy. Because as you can see, the trending news that has been happening, there is something Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said some time ago when he lamented about how these people they use religion to brainwash us here in Africa. It is through religion that most of the damages that was done to us. Religion is the key of mental slavery. As you can see what happened in Imo State today, as you can see right in front of my screen, who is right in front of your screen. Before we proceed, make sure as you join in, invite others to join. As you are joining, invite others to join. Chukwudume, is it Chukwudumeme Kenneth? Watching from Togo, you are welcome. It is very, very important when you are joining us, make sure you invite other people to join. It is very, very important because tonight analysis that I am going to give to you, you make sure you share the video for the world to understand what you've been crying for the world to understand that what you have is nothing but a banana republic. It's nothing but the biggest jungle in Africa. There are something that we black people, it is very, very difficult for people to understand exactly what is happening to us. Talk more of understanding the solution. Because religion indeed dealing with us decisively. There are some videos I am going to show you. There are some things I am going to show you as well while we are continuing, but make sure you invite others to join before we begin. Make sure you invite others to join. If you are in, invite others to join. Make sure you share the video. Share this video. Invite other people to join before we proceed. Because all the things that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said, all the prophecy that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave, we are going to be confirming a lot of them tonight because so many of you must have forgotten. Because number one thing that we don't understand is that we don't pay attention. We listen, but we don't pay attention. When you learn how to listen and when you learn how to pay attention as well, you will never forget when each prophecy come to pass. That's the reason why we neglect a lot of things. We neglect everything that is ours. We neglect the prophecy that is already written because we are waiting for all these religious leaders, all these self-proclaimed prophets to be the one to come and tell you before you will agree. As you can right in front of your screen, you will see this man called Bishop Chukma. A lot of Christians have died under the leadership of this impostor called Buhari. A lot of Christians have died under the leadership of this man called Buhari in Aso Rock. There is something that we African people do not understand. Why is it that when whatever that a white man gave to us, we pay attention to it more? We even use it more than them that gave it to you. As you can see, this is a bishop, right? A bishop in Imo State, Bishop Chukuma. He went to Imo State just to receive the Fulani Janjaweed Masquerade. And he actually gave him a trophy. He actually gave this man a trophy. Before we proceed, let me just justify the act of this man you call your bishop. Let's just justify the act of this man under the leadership of Bihari. Many people have died. Many Christians have died. Many Christian churches has been raided by the terrorists. And yet, the almighty Bishop Chukuma is the same bishop who went to hand over a trophy to an impostor. When we talk about people people just doing money ritual, selling their conscience for money, this is exactly what it is. People selling their integrity for money. This is the sign of it. This is exactly what it is. Under the leadership of terrorist organization, Bishop Chukuma traveled to go and meet him to present him a trophy. He is the wisest bishop in the Biafra land, apparently. That's the reason why every other person some of these religious leaders who have woken up to the knowledge of the truth are fighting for the freedom, are advocating for the freedom. This man is there sabotaging what you are fighting for. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told you, in fact, let me play one video for you, just give you the full analysis of what is happening today in this world before I go to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's quote, because I am going to allow him to say it himself. I am not going to be the one saying it. Then you are going to back to understand what is happening here. The Almighty Bishop, everything that is happening in the Banana Republic, in the biggest jungle in Africa, everything that is happening there is quite indescribable. Pay attention to this video.
I truly believe we live in unbelievable times, that the prophets of 2,700 years ago were more accurate in the way they describe what's going on today than our own newspapers even today. I've never seen the church more divided in my entire life. I've never seen families more divided. I've never seen friendships so easily broken, as if they don't matter anymore. And all of that because the enemy successfully breached those.
I think we are having a very bad reception. We are having a very, very bad reception. But we must continue. We must continue. So, as I was saying, there is something I want you to pay attention to understand in this video that I am going to show you right now. Before we proceed, I was cut off while I wanted to play this video, but I am going to start it afresh.
Prophet, I truly believe we live in unbelievable times, that the prophets of 2,700 years ago were more accurate in the way they describe what's going on today than our own newspapers even today.
Did you hear that? The prophet of 2,700 years ago described what you are seeing today more than the newspapers. that you buy to read, or more than the media that you look at today. Do you know the reason why? And the people of 2,700 years ago that this man is referring to, these are the ancestors of the Biafrans. When they were in the land of Egypt, that's when they received the prophecy of what is happening today, and they wrote it in the scroll. They wrote it down in the scroll. Can you imagine the prophet of all those years ago? What they have written unto you is what is happening. What they have written unto you is what is happening. He tell you that the shepherd are going to lead the sheep astray. They told you that the people who are going to, the devil will dress in the attire of an angel just to come to deceive you. The devil would dress in the attire of an angel just to come to deceive you. And that is exactly what has been playing. That is exactly what is going on. That's why Bishop Chukwuma will not understand. That's why he will never understand that people are dying. People, so many Christians have died, have lost their life in the regime of the politics that is being played in Nigeria, the Banana Republic, the biggest jungle in Africa. Whatever this type of people are preaching to you, they are preaching to you false doctrine. And that is the reason why you are still suffering. Because at the end of the day, they go behind your back. They do their dirty. They do their politics. Because all these people, this man know very well. He knows very well that this man is just nothing but an imposter who visited Imo State. And yet, he took his time to go there to make sure that he hand him over this so-called trophy, to say to him, keep it up, keep killing our people, keep colonizing us, keep terrorizing the country, keep doing what you want. You are doing great. Those are the people who sell their identity for pittance. Those are the people whom you've been following all your life. They are our bishop. They are our this and that. It is high time you begin to tell yourself the truth. It is high time you begin to be the one who is going to pray yourself out. The reason why you keep grappling with one thing or the other in the land of Biafra, the reason why you are not getting anything right, because you are always dependent on another person to do it for you. That's why your religious leaders are keep busy exploiting you, because you depend on them to pray for you. What makes them so special? Nothing makes them so special. They are not special more than you. They have no good relationship with God more than you. They are born of flesh more than you. Only thing that you know that they do more than you is to exploit you. They know how to manipulate you using the book, using the constitution book of the house of Israelite, using the prophecies of 7,100 years ago or 1,700 years ago, using those books to manipulate you. That's the reason why this man, he left what he's supposed to be doing as a bishop or so-called bishop. He went to Imo State to say to the president, the imposter, that he knows that he is an imposter. To him, he must keep on killing our people. They called him Action President. When he said that he would teach these people in a language that they will understand, He is referring to all of you. When are you going to wake up, African people? When are you going to wake up, black people? I think with this high time we begin to change from being called black. Maybe we should find out something else that we're supposed to call ourselves, because this black is the thing that is killing us. Exactly what I am telling you. Let me play for you the same voice where Mazen Namdekanu told you by himself that all these things that you are watching in the name of religion, they are only dividing you. The church is divided. The church is divided. There is nothing that you will tell me that is an evidence to show you that this church that you see today, they are church of God. There is nothing. Because whatever they are doing only the things that favors them. They will never do anything in your favor. That is why this bishop left his cathedral to travel to Imo State to meet an impostor. And he knows that this man is an impostor. He went there to meet him. I am going to also show you those people who are selling themselves out, those women, those men, those hungry women and hungry men who were selling themselves out in Imo State today. I am going to show you, and then I am going to tell you their faith, because there is no sin that goes unpunished. As so many of you might say that they are hungry, we will find how hungry can you be to sell your identity. Let me play this video. Let me play the voice of Mazen Namdekanu the Great, because he warned you. He foresaw all these things coming. He foresaw all these things coming. Let's listen. I'm going to play this voice for a while. Then you can listen to it at the end of this video. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you share this video.
We believe that the restoration of Biafra is not in the gift of man to give. No single man can ever give you Biafra. It's impossible. Biafra is the gift of the Most High Elohim to give. How we prepare and position ourselves on this very earth, both physically and spiritually, will determine if God will love us enough to give us his kingdom on the face of this very earth. That was why, in his infinite mercy, Eastern Security Network was established to secure our land. And anybody foolish enough, anybody stupid enough to seek confrontation with us, as I have said previously, before you come to look for us, before you enter into our forest to perhaps die there, because you all will perish anyway. Look at Yemen, look at Somalia, and look at Syria.
Pay very good attention. Make sure you invite others to join. Pay very good attention. I want to remind you something, so that when you see this photo in front of your screen, then you will be able to understand.
Let them be at the back of your minds. Whoever is charged with making that very decision to launch an armed confrontation against the Eastern Security earlier. They never reason, they never listen. They are not intelligent enough to understand when the end has come. The only people supporting them is Britain. And we are not going to fool ourselves. Britain does wield a very considerable clout. They are taking our oil in our land. Now they have found gold also in the north. So the zoo has never failed, not once in its entire, should I say, 60-year history, to serve the interest of our colonial masters, those that created us. People say God created. I said to them, you are very, very foolish. God never created Nigeria. A man and a woman did. They are mortal flesh and they are dead. The same way they died is how the zoo is going to die. Nobody can save Nigeria. Nobody can, because it is written. How I want people, those who are averse to history, those who don't understand history very well, even those who claim they are writers, they are novelists. You know the thing about we black people, once you do something and you get accolade or praise from white people or from BBC, you think you've arrived. That's the one thing about our people. You think once they give you one award or the other, once a white man confers that legitimacy or validity on your work or your talent, you feel you've arrived. One major mistake that black people always make. Efforts to divide the East. How has it been possible to keep Nigeria as one, as a failed state that it is, as a terror-ravaged contraption that it is, as an abomination that it is? How have they managed to keep Nigeria together? Look no further than what happened during the End SARS protest. When I preach all the time and I say to black people that your mental weakness, your inability to reason properly is why you are suffering, they say it's an insult. No, it is not. They managed to divide those who are protesting by introducing two key elements they know will appeal to their primordial instincts. What are those? Religion and ethnicity. Let me tell you something.
Did you listen to that? Did you hear that? Let me push it a bit back. Then you will be able to pay attention what they use to divide you, what they always use to divide you.
By introducing two key elements they know will appeal to their primordial instincts. What are those? Religion and ethnicity.
Religion.
Let me tell you something you don't understand. That is the only instrument the Europeans had to divide and conquer Africa.
Religion.
What they did was to pass it on to the Fulani Janjaweed. And with the help of the Fulefus and traitors in our midst in the entire South, both Yoruba and Biafra,
Are you
both
watching?
Noduduwa and Biafra.
Are you watching? That is the same prophecy that is playing out. That's why Bishop Chukwuma left, I think, Enugu State to go to Imo State to hand over a trophy to an imposter. An imposter who flew himself from Aso Rock or from wherever they found this one, because looks like there are many imposters. Once you wear this mask, there is a voice changer. There is a voice changer behind somewhere that filters the voice of Buhari whenever you wear this mask. Because the imposters are not one person. There are two now. Two imposters. That's why when you look at this one, sometimes he is fresh. The other time, sometimes He is so dry. You know, so one thing you must understand, they have used religion to divide you. They have used ethnicity to destroy you. That's the reason why this man is doing what he is doing. Other religious leaders are fighting against injustice, against Christianity. They are fighting against injustice, against the children of God. But this man is fighting against the people who is fighting against their enemy. And yet, on a Sunday, he will come and tell you, kneel down, I bless you, in his cathedral. What are we going to say more to save our people from all this evil doom that is coming in their ways? No wonder the Bible says that the judgment will start in the house of God. The judgment is going to start. Those that lead the sheep astray, those that led the sheep astray. This bishop, his ancestors died in the hands of Buhari. His people died in the hands of Buhari during the 1967 Biafran War. Buhari was one of the people in the forefront of killing the Biafrans. And yet, even after Buhari is gone, an imposter arrived in Imo State. This man took his time to go and hand him over a trophy, an action president, agricultural president, the president that brings Ruga, the president that brings Operation Python Dance, the same president that brings Crocodile Smile on you, on your people. He is an action president. As you may see, though, so many of you guys don't reason, you guys don't pay attention. Just like these women, I told you yesterday that they are going to pay people. They are going to pay people to come and stand for them. And those few people were the ones they were able to afford, or where they were able to convince, because people have woken up. People are no longer the guinea pig generation that they used to be. That is the reason why. Let us see exactly what the reason why imposter fly from Aso Rock, from Abuja, to come to Imo State. Let us see the reason why he flew from Aso Rock,
which we met,
to Imo State.
Outmoded, rickety chamber built over 40 years ago, devoid of modern communication facilities and gadgets for ease of executive policy formulations and decisions.
This is what a whole president of a nation left
history,
every other thing that he's supposed to do to come to commission this nonsense, this trash.
An ultra-modern executive council chambers of world-class
people are building.
That is one of the projects Your Excellency will commission.
Factories to give people employment. People are building roads.
Your visit, Your Excellency,
there is more than 1,000 miles.
Of the government of Imo State,
but this guy built something that is not even up to 500 meters. A road that is not even up to 1 kilometer. He called the president to come and acknowledge it. Apparently the president came and he claimed that he is pleased. That he is pleased. People were selling themselves out because they know nothing. Those are the only people that they were able to convince. I am going to show you the women of Imo State, whom they were also able to convince to come here Those are the type of people whom the bullet that is made for another person always catch up on them. Those are the type of people. No wonder the Bible says in the book of Zechariah that 2/3 of us will be cut off. 2/3 of our people are going to be cut off. It is very, very obvious now as per what is going to happen. As the day of judgment near. If you build a nuclear electricity in Imo State, you are not going to call obviously the Nigeria president to come and commission it. You are going to call Obama, or you are going to call American president to come to commission. Just that you build a pavement, just that you build something like not even a tunnel. You cannot call it a tunnel because a tunnel is where a car can go through. That is the reason why you invited Mr. President, the imposter, the mask wearer of Aso Rock, to come to commission. And you are showing us Imo State. It is London. There is steady electricity there, right? You are showing us Imo State, but when you get sick, you run to Britain. You are showing us what is your Supreme Court leader who was imposed on you, who forced himself on Imo State. You built Imo State so well, but yet when you are sick, you don't have hospital in Imo State to cater for you. Very, very, very bad indeed. Very, very, very sad indeed. This is where I want you to listen to. Pay very good attention to your president. Very, very good attention to your presidents. Welcome back. We are having a very, very bad reception, but we must continue. We must continue. Pay very good attention to your president.
Now this federal housing, for over 20 something years, many governments have come and gone. We petition to state government.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, his colleagues that have accompanied us here, I think I have to revert to the old saying that seeing is believing. I accepted this invitation to come to see what the governor wanted me to see.
To see a pavement which the governor built, wanted you to see. The biggest fool that you have become is that you are arriving to see the people you call yourself their president. Those people quarantine themselves because this imposter is like a virus. No one wants to be infected with his COVID-19. That's exactly the reason why people were sitting at home. And guess what? Yesterday I told you that when he is done coming to Biafra land, things are not going to remain the same, because eventually the spirit of Biafra is going to arrest him, is going to possess him. And it is not a joke. You will watch it unfold in few days. Watch people's comment. Watch people's comment about his visit. Watch their comments already. And I would love you to read it yourself in order to understand it very well. That is people's comment already. Because coming to the Biafra land is the biggest mistake that he has made. Visiting the Biafra land, the Holy Land, is the biggest mistake this imposter have made in his entire life and in his entire political career at this time around. That is it. Buhari talked about 1967 treatment some time ago, and today he got the 2021 treatment. With Buhari's crave for attention, pomp and fanfare, the empty street will hit him real hard. Sit-at-home order is an effective weapon that can be deployed strategically, and today it was. This is Aisha Yusuf, another great activist. It is already pouring in. As you can see, the spirit of Biafra is going to keep disgracing all of them. It is going to keep disgracing all of them for evil that they are doing all the time against the people. Let us listen to the imposter one more time.
And I have seen enough that justifies his integrity in making sure that he is working very hard to make sure that you get the structure necessary for you to build the oven. I'm very impressed with what he has done, because I have gone through the same problem at the center to make sure that infrastructure is what will enable the people to mind their own businesses. If there are no roads, if there is no security, what can people do? Absolutely nothing. I am very pleased that by some fabulous coincidence, my idea and that of your governor coincided. I am very pleased with what I have seen, and I assure you that as a center, I will try to encourage Imo State within the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you very much for being lucky to have the break in the weather for us to go around and see what the governor has done for the state. I thank you very much. And God bless you all.
Yes, God will remove that mask on your face. He is going to indeed remove those masks on your face in the public that the whole world may see what you are. And then exactly in Imo State, those Efulefus. Let me show you those Efulefus who went there, because we know that they are going to do this. We know that they are going to make sure that they create something like this to use it to show the world, because they know that they have suffered the biggest humiliation century. A president of a nation, the people decided to lock themselves down. Does that mean that that president is coming with a virus? What does it mean? People decided to lock themselves with in lockdown, quarantine themselves just to stay away from the biggest problem that Nigeria has. Look at it. I told you that they are going to buy people, but they were not able to buy enough. They were not able to buy enough. It was still empty. Have you ever seen where Joe Biden went for okay, did you see the time when Joe Biden visit a state in the United States? If you ever see this man visiting a state in the United States, then you will understand the type of humiliation this so-called Buhari, the imposter, have gone through. Though he doesn't care because he's wearing a mask, you don't know who is under there. When he gets to wherever he gets to, he removes it. It doesn't matter to him. But the people whom are going to be humiliated the most are those people who are clamoring for one Nigeria. Listen to your women. Listen to these women. These hungry people. Listen to them. As stingy and wicked as they are, these are the only people that these people were able to afford to come and stand for them. These efulefus that you don't even know where they come from. Most of them are Fulanese. Most of them are Fulanese that grew up in Biafra land. They brought them to stand here to make sure that he is not, he believed that he will not be humiliated. But indeed, he is humiliated. When you see any president of any nation moving from a place to a place, coming to a particular state in a country, the massive movement of people to appreciate, to receive their first citizen. But this is the only people, apart from the politicians, who were commanded to be there. These were the only people whom Hope Uzodinmahe was able to bribe with. Some of them received 1,500 naira. Some of them received 2,000 naira. While some of them received 10,000 naira. Just to come here to stand to sing nonsense, to sing things that does not make sense. Listen to them. Make sure you share this video because they must be humiliated. All these people, they don't know that they are caging their generation. They are not aware that they are enslaving their children. Shameless people, people whom are shameless, just like the Bishop Chukwuma. They go to the most timid, remote area, fetch these people, buy them all this regalian, buy them all these things they are putting on just to stand here because those people, the only thing they wish for is to appear in front of a screen of a TV. Some of them were promised that they are coming to see the president. Some of them were promised that they are coming to come to the TV. They are going to show themselves in the TV. That's exactly the reason why some of them are here. Not even all of them are paid. Not even all of them are paid. They were organized to come here to sing nonsense. These are the same people whom the Fulani, when they take that route that they are going to take, these are the same people whom are going to be raped. These are the same people whom are going to be taken away from their farms. These are the same people Fulani cows are going to go into their farms to destroy it. These are the same people because they do not know when they are selling their birthright. 2/3 of the nation are going to be cut off. 2/3 of the nation is going to be cut off. What you need to start advocating now is to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It is very, very important that they release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The time is going so fast. The time is ticking. The clock is ticking very fast. Nigeria will be destroyed beyond recognition. As Mazen Nnamdi Kanu prophesied it, Nigeria will be destroyed beyond the recognition. Beyond recognition. The biggest zoo in Africa is going to be destroyed beyond recognition. The prophecies are going to be playing out, and whenever they come, we'll make sure that we catch it and bring it to you. Because you might not be paying attention when it's happening. When you look at the man that you saw, when you look at the same person that you saw today in Imo State, and you look at the one in front of your screen, and you ask yourself and tell me, and you also look at this one, you ask yourself and tell me, are they the same person? Are they the same person? Or he keep missing in action? Keep focusing. Are they the same person who visited Imo State today? Is it the same person who visited Imo State today? Ask yourself that question. For those of you whom are not even understanding that an impostor come to your land today. An impostor came to your land today. Whoever that made this regalian, they did a very good job there. They did a very good job there. What a wonderful regalian. That is to show you that this is not whom you are expecting to come that is there. Because that person whom Yusuf Buhari, he loved himself so much to come here with this insecurity going on around Nigeria. You think Yusuf Buhari is going to wear his father's mask to come here? Whoever that visited Imo State, his life is inconsequential. What they do is that when they give him a mask, there is one chip that changes the voice. That chip is programmed that the voice of this man is the one that is going to be producing. That's why anybody that's slender like this will be able to wear the mask and still talk similar to Buhari. But he will never talk like Buhari. That's exactly what is happening. Because the coming of this man in Imo State, the coming of this imposter in Imo State, this is not the main imposter in Aso Rock. If you are not paying attention, pay very good attention. This is not the very imposter. This is not this man. This is not the same imposter like this one. That one is a different imposter because the one they have in Aso Rock, they need him very much. They need him. He is not going to risk it all to travel to Imo State. Those are the same people the bishop is handing the trophy over. If you are paying attention, this man, this guy you see in front of the TV right now, in front of your screen right now, is not this man who visited Imo State today. They are not the same people. They are not the same person, rather. They are quite different. But the only thing is that the voice, the mimicking voice, is going to sound the same because they use the same software. They use the same software. But at the end of the day, the energy is never the same. The energy is not the same. Let's see if I will be able to play that video again. Then you will be able to pick up something about what I am talking about. The energy is not the same. The energy. The real imposter did not come to Imo State today. The real imposter did not come to Imo State. This person who was in Imo State today is an impersonator. Because every time they do, they believe that they are clever. That they are clever than every other person. That's the reason why they believe that all these syndicates who are toiling with the life of people in Nigeria, your cup is full. Your cup is full. I am going to show you some videos and I'm going to show you another video. The video of what happened today. Then you compare the energy. You compare the energy. For some of you who might understand, because not a lot of you who will be able to pay attention and understand
this opportunity,
but I will explain it to you.
On the recent genuine concerns and agitations by Nigerians about the excessive use of force and in some cases extrajudicial killings and wrongful conduct by means of the Nigerian, use this opportunity to say a word on the recent genuine concerns and agitations by Nigerians about the excessive use of force and, in some cases, extrajudicial killings and wrongful conduct by means of the Nigerian police force.
Now let's go here
The
because
disbanding of SARS
let's
is
go
only the first step
2017.
in our
Let's
commitment
compare the
to
energy as well. We are
extensive
going to
police
2017.
reform in order to ensure that the primary duty of the police and other law enforcement agencies remains the protection of lives and livelihoods of our people. We will also ensure that all those responsible for misconduct or wrongful acts are brought to justice. We also deeply regret the loss of life of the young man in Oyo State during the recent demonstrations. I have directed that the circumstances of his death should be thoroughly investigated. Meanwhile, it is important to recognize that the vast majority of men and women of the police force are hardworking and diligent in performing their duties.
Let me find the
The few
video.
bad eggs should not be allowed to tarnish the image and reputation of the force.
That uppermost in your minds today is the economic crisis. The recession for many individuals and families is real.
I hope you are paying
For
attention to
some,
that face
it
as
means not
well.
being able to pay school fees.
I am
For others,
looking for
it
a
is not
particular
being
video in
able to afford
2017.
the high cost of food, rice, and
We are
millet,
trying to compare the
or the high
energy of
cost
the
of
person
local
who showed
or
up today.
international travel. And for many of our young people, the recession means joblessness. Sometimes after graduating from university or polytechnic. I know how difficult things are and how rough business is. All my adult life, I have always earned a salary, and I know what it is like when your salary simply.
Let's go to where he was invited as well to make a speech, because I know that some of you may argue it that the energy is not supposed to be the same because he is addressing the nation and there he was making a speech. Let's go there.
We will hear an address by His Excellency Muhammad Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I request protocol to escort His Excellency.
(2017). Pay attention to the energy
On
only.
behalf of the General Assembly, I have the honor to welcome to the United Nations His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and to invite him to address the Assembly.
Mr. President, fellow heads of state and government, Mr. Secretary General, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of my country, Nigeria, I congratulate you, Mr. President, on your election, and Mr. Guterres on his first General Assembly outing as our Secretary General. I assure you both of my country's solidarity and cooperation. You will indeed need the cooperation of all member states as we are meeting during extraordinary, troubled, and dangerous times. Let me also thank former Secretary General Mr. Ban Ki-moon for his service to the United Nations and wish him peaceful retirement. Mr. President, the previous year has witnessed many far-reaching developments. Some of the most significant events include the Iran nuclear deal, the
Make sure that you are paying attention because I want you to compare the energy. This is almost the same thing that he's doing, the same thing that's almost similar thing that happened to in Imo State today is what he's doing today. I want you to compare the energy. Let's go there.
Paris climate change
We are coming
agreement
back to Imo State right
and
now.
of grave concern, the North Korean nuclear crisis. Mr. President, I must also commend the United States' role in helping to settle thousands of innocent civilians caught in the conflicts in Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan. In particular, we must collectively thank the government of the Federal Republic of Germany under the commendable leadership of Chancellor Angela Merkel and the governments of Italy, Greece, and Turkey for assisting hundreds of thousands of refugees. In an exemplary show of solidarity, the international community came together within my own region to assist the countries and communities in the Sahel and the Lake Chad regions to contain the threat posed by Al-Qaeda and Boko Haram. We thank the Security Council for visiting the countries of Lake Chad Basin to assess the security situation and humanitarian needs, and for pledging assistance to rebuild lives and livelihoods. Indeed, in Nigeria, we are providing relief and humanitarian assistance to millions in internally displaced camps and those afflicted by terrorism, drought, floods, and other natural disasters. In the last year, the international community came together to focus on the need for gender equality, youth empowerment, social inclusion, and the promotion of education, creativity, and innovation. The frontiers of good governance, democracy, including holding free and fair elections, and the enthronement of the rule of law are expanding everywhere, especially in Africa. Our faith in democracy remains firm, guided by the spirit of enthroning a safer and more peaceful world to ratify without delay the treaty prohibiting nuclear weapons, which will be open for signature here tomorrow. Mr. President, I end my remarks by reiterating Nigeria's abiding commitment to the foundational principles and goals of the United Nations. Since our admission as a member state in 1960, we have always participated in all efforts to bring about global peace, security, and development. Nigeria will continue to support the United Nations in all its efforts, including the attainment of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. I thank you.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I wish to thank
And the whole idea is to
Mary River.
end.
The Shared Prosperity Administration, led by His Excellency, Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinmahe, has once again decorated the people of Imo State with joy and happiness, as the enemy to economic growth and livelihood has been put on the
wanted me to see.
Nigeria. So at this point in time, make this remarks. Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir. Imo Baya Baba, Imo Baya Baba, Unu Baya Baba, President Soyama, Unu Baya Baba, Unu Baya Baba, Papandimo States, Papandimo States, Papa Nigeria, eyes, eyes.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, his colleagues, that have accompanied us here. I think I have to revert to the old saying that seeing is believing. I accepted this invitation to come to see what the governor wanted me to see. And I have seen enough that justifies his integrity in making sure that he is working very hard to make sure that you get the structure necessary for you to build the oven. I'm very impressed with what he has done, because I have gone through the same problem at the center to make sure that infrastructure is what will enable the people to mind their own businesses. If there are no roads, if there is no security, what can people do? Absolutely nothing. I am very pleased that by some fabulous coincidence, my idea and that of your governor coincided. I am very pleased with what I have seen, and I assure you that as the center, I will try to encourage Imo State within the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you very much for being lucky to have the break in the weather for us to go around and see what the governor has done for the state. I thank you very much. And God bless you all.
Thank you. His Excellency is moving here now to unveil the, first of all, to commission these roads.
Perennial flooding witnessed
Sorry, we lost the sound there. But what we are saying and what we are telling you, as you have seen and compared the energy, as you have seen what we have showed you, you have compared the energy to notice that this person it was in Imo State is not Buhari, is not even the real imposter who will be able to go and represent the zoological republic in every other country. This is another person because they are scared of you. They do not know the reason why you have put a lockdown in place. They believe that you put a lockdown in place to exterminate the imposter. They have received the biggest shame of their life today in Imo State. And now they have shown you their weakness. They have shown you that Anambra election, they have shown you their strategy. And they only have one strategy their strategy is to keep hiring people just to stand to show the world that there are people who are supporting them, to show the world there are crowd number of people. If they know how to double the number of people, but apparently there were many media there. That's why they are not able to do a Photoshop of the number of people who were there. And remember, this is the same strategy they are going to use for Anambra election. So they are going to start their bribery spree as they are already on bribery spree. They want to they want to convince as many as all these illiterate from remote area who are less informed. That's why I say it is very important that everyone on the ground must be informed of what is going on, because all these efulefus that you found there singing for Hope Uzodinmahe, clamoring and for their so-called imposter, all those people you saw, because they were less informed and they are hungry and they do not have social media. That's the reason why these people keep manipulating them. That's the reason why these people will keep using them to show the world that there are people who are standing on their behalf. Some of them were not even paid. Some of them just wanted to stand next to the governor because that's how foolish they are. That is how local. That is how mentally disturbed they are. They want to see the president. They want to see the imposter. That's why some of them are there, risking their lives. That's why some of them are there. Just because they are scared of you, they change their imposter. Just because they are scared of you. I want you to look at this man very well. Look at him thoroughly. Then you will look at the man that they present to you from Asorok, and you will compare. Have you ever heard from the wife of Buhari? You will not hear from the wife of Buhari anymore. For now, he's on low key because all her secret is out in the open. He is on very low key because if eventually this colonization come, you see what is happening in Kabul or in Afghanistan, the Islamization. Now the women are suffering the heat. That's why he hibernated for a while. She hibernated rather for a while. But what I am trying to tell you tonight is that they have exposed themselves because this lockdown have insulted them. This lockdown have threatened them. This lockdown have made people question, whom are you a governor to? Whom are you a president to? That you cannot even be acknowledged. You are not acknowledged by moving from your place to another state in a place where you are first citizen. No one give a damn about you. No one noticed that you have arrived. Only all these people whom are gaining from the bad governance, they are the only ones who are going to stand for you. They gave you a red cap because they do not understand the meaning of a red cap. They gave you a tiger wear, the clothing of the children of Israelite. That's what you are wearing. I wish you are the really imposter. They gave you the pride of a Biafra man, the pride of Igbo man. That's what you are putting on. Because it doesn't take them time to sell their identity. It does not take them time to sell their people. That is exactly what is playing out in the open. They believe that when they give you these things, they will use it to confuse the gullible people, to say that Buhari is everybody's person. This is politics. There is 2023 coming soon. For those of you whom you are going to allow yourselves to be deceived, to be bought like these women who are singing rubbish for their hope, Uzodinmahe. What they are doing, they are selling their birthright by sewing an attire like this. The pride of Igbo man, the pride of integrity, the pride of God people. And they took it and they gave it to an imposter, a red cap chief imposter. When the land is not good, it is always in a favor of some people. When things are not going well, it is always in a favor of some people. There is another video I am going to show you. Those in Anambra State doing their political election campaign. People in the likes of Ifeanyi Ubah. At the end of the day, you must understand that the same strategy that you use are the same strategy that you are going to use, but you have a very, very key role to play. All the Biafrans influencers, you have a very, very key role to play. You need to make sure that the message that you are giving out, you need to make sure that the people in the village, the people in the rural area, the people in the remote area are paying attention to you. You need to make sure of that so that they will not go there to select these people and give them a clothing to wear, to tell them they are coming to see the president, just to come and stand as if they are coming to vote. At the end of the day, what they are coming to is for these people to use them to camouflage and force another person on you for the next decade. As they keep doing their campaign, what confuses me is these religious leaders. There is something you must understand, because this is something that you people never try to reason about. Do you think that someone get the calling of God by going to school to study theology? No one gets a calling of God by going to school. And this school you are going, it is called the school of your colonialist. The school that your colonialist invented to you. When you are the people of the book, a white man from Europe invented a school, call it a theology school, call it archaeological school, that you go there and you come there, you wear white up and down, and you begin to lie to people based on what you receive from archaeology. Do you think that those people that their name is in the Bible, do you think that they went to archaeological school or theological school to give you the prophecy of what is playing out in the open today? Is that what you think? This is what confuses a black man because you don't know the difference. You don't know the left, your left from your right. Whenever religion and ethnicity, just like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said it, those are the things that they are using to confuse you all the time. Religion and ethnicity. I am going to play that voice for you to listen to it properly after I am done with what I am showing you. Because you need to go back. Whenever you see things you do not understand, go back to all the speeches of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. You will pick them up there. What he have said to you is exactly how Bible was written. The encounter, the more it is coming, it is being written down in a scroll, and it is happening the same way because we undermine ourselves. We black people, we undermine ourselves. That's why we do not move forward. And we can never compete with a white man from Europe, with a Chinese man from Asia. We can never compete with them. No matter how much rich you are, you will never be rich. More than Bill Gates, Rockefeller, Elon Musk. You can never be rich more than them. No matter, even though oil and gas is found in your land, even though you steal the whole country money, you will never be rich more than these people. They are the ones who created you. They are the ones who tell you how much you're worth. They are the one who created JAC. They are the ones who created the rating agencies. They are the ones who tell you your worth. Do you think they will ever make you to worth more than them? That's one thing you don't understand. When you begin to refuse everything made by Europeans and you stop championing them, stop going to school just to have a calling of God. If God gives you a message, God is going to give you the directions of your message. All you need to do is go to school, find a profession so that you don't exploit your people. Once you find a profession, when you are doing the message that God gave you, you must know that you are doing it organically. It is organic. But when you go to theology and come out and you call yourself a man of God, you call yourself a pastor, you will keep doing all these things, finding all these reverend fathers, selling themselves for pittance, finding all these bishops, selling themselves out. That's what you are going to be doing because you are going to be chasing after the things of the world. These are the shepherd that scatters the sheep. And that is what you are going to keep seeing if you don't change your manner of approach, if you don't change the way you are reasoning, if you don't start remembering what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have told you. We need to make sure that the people on the ground are well informed so that you will not see more of these efulefus who are there praising Hope Uzodinmahe. You can see that they don't even mean what they are saying. They are hungry. They are tired. That's exactly what is going on. Because if we need to show the world that there is no election, there has never been election in Nigeria. Your election is inconsequential. Coming to the polling station to vote, your vote does not count. That's why they are on a bribery spree, gathering people, making sure that on that day, they will snap a massive number of people, showing you that they came to vote, even though the people are sleeping in their homes. This is their plan. The same thing Hope Uzodinma did. But apparently, the reason why he didn't get the massive number of people was because this lockdown came as a surprise. No one believed, no one saw it coming. No one saw it coming. That's why they were not able to recruit a huge number of people, a huge number of Efulefus. But believe you me, if people on the ground are well informed, they will not be able to get even 5 persons, because they are doing this because they know that they are on the ground. Their agents is everywhere. That's why they go into this remote area where people are very, very hungry, to make sure that they convince few of them to come and stand with them, because they know they can never do without you. Without you, they are nothing. But when you are with them, they abuse you. That is what is going on. Without you, they are nothing. When you join them, they abuse you. They use you, they abuse you. That's why cattle root is more important than your safety. Without you, there is no them. When you are with them, they have power to abuse you, to destroy you, to separate you. That's why cattle root is more important than your safety. The safety of people who place you into power. Are you paying attention? That's why cattle root is more important than you. If you use this same strategy, make sure that the people are well informed. Anambra State, all these politicians in Anambra State, they are going to come out also and disgrace themselves. When you tell them, no, I don't want your relationship anymore. It's not by force. Relationship is not by force. That's what you must show them. That relationship is no longer by force. And those of you who keep supporting all these sellouts who call themselves men of God all over the place, it is high time you come clean. It is high time you come clean. Believe you me, what you are doing, God is against it. Go and read your Bible very well. Go and read it very well. Then you will know whom you are following. You know whom you pay attention to. You know whom you wear your good regalian on Sunday to go and sit there. Religion is the biggest weapon that the colonials use to enslave you. Listen to the campaign they are hoping for Anambra State election, because while you are planning, they are doing their things, because they don't understand that power belongs to the people. And apparently people are taking back their power. And that is your exercise that you have to take. You have to take back your power. Your vote does not count for them. Stay at home. Let them vote for themselves.
So unu tozuru ya anyị na-asụ gọzie mmiri na bọsị ọbụla onye buru nke ya ọ ihe ruru n'ọchị unu nyere ụnụ anaghị azụ igwe azọ ọ Chukwu na-enye igwe ebe niile azọrọ igwe ahụ anaghị afọ emechakwa ewere enye onye nwe ya maka Chineke ka Chukwu gọzie moto a ọ ga na-agba n'ụzọ na-ana n'ụzọ ka Chukwu gọzie moto a ọ ga-abụrụ ụnụ ahụike na ngọzi ka Chukwu gọzie moto ọ ga-enwe okwu nke ụnụ mmadụ ama ngoro ụnụ n'okwu ka Chukwu gọzie mmata mmadụ ama mme ka ụnụ kwuo ebe ụnụ si n'ụlọ achọghọ oke ụnụ ya eruo n'aka Ifeanyị Ụba mepere ụzọ bụ mbido nke ngọzi ndị igwe bido tata gaba otu Ifeanyị si cheta ụnụ ka a ga-esi echeta ụnụ maka anyị esi ụnụ bụ ụlọ anyị igwe anyị ga na-enye ụnụ ihe ụnụ ga-eji arụ ya ọfụma ka Chukwu gọzie ụgbọ a gọzie ihe ọma ga na-eso ya gọziela anyị sinetọ anyị gọzikwala anyị sinetọ anyị gọziela anyị sinetọ n'ezinụlọ ya wee gọzie ụgbọ.
Do you know the reason why they are going to your traditional leaders? Because it is through your traditional leaders that they will be able to brainwash people from their constituencies or from their communities to come and stand for them whenever they want to show the world that they have followers. It is through your traditional leaders, because those people, they do not understand the power they hold. That's why they are also abusing it, using it wrongly. That's the reason why this guy, he is very intelligent. That's the reason why he came to the traditional leaders. Because through the traditional leaders, as they are bribing the traditional leaders, buying them cars, buying them whatever buses, so that they will convince the people there that is under their leadership to come out on the day of election. That is exactly what they are up to. If you are not paying attention, that's why when we are talking, we tell you to share the video. When we are talking, we tell you to share the video, because while you keep sharing the video, the same way the video will get to the right ears, the same way it will be, the message will reach the people on the ground. Because all these traditional leaders, they are on the ground. Their boot is on the ground. Their allies are on the ground. If they come, they use them, they will find more people to deceive from those rural areas. People who never ever come to the city, or who never ever visited a township, they will be convinced to come and make themselves a fool and enslave themselves for the next decade as well. But I will leave it here so that you will be able to go through the podcast. But at the end of the day, I want you to pay attention so that you will know that what we are following is the footstep of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and none other, because he has the truth. And the foundation of the truth that he laid is what will continue to lead you, is what will continue to guide you. That you do not need anybody to go and tell you what needs to be done. You will find what needs to be done. When you listen to his previous voice, then you will find what needs to be done. That is how it is supposed to be. That's how it should be.
We believe that the restoration of Biafra is not in the gift of man to give. No single man can ever give you Biafra. Biafra is the gift of the Most High Elohim to give. How we prepare and position ourselves on this very earth, both physically and spiritually, will determine if God will.
How you prepare both physically and spiritually. Both physically and spiritually. Physical part of it is what you did today, what you have presented to them today, by hiding yourself, hibernating yourselves, so that you will not get infected by these things, by what they have come to deceive many of you. Spiritual aspect of it is for you not to be deceived by this type of bishops. For you not to be deceived, that is the spiritual aspect of it. You should never be deceived or moved by all these your religious leaders. Because if they are not able to find your traditional leaders, they go to your religious leaders, because they will believe, you will believe that God is speaking through them, but you don't know that what is speaking through them is neo-colonialism, power of neo-colonialism. That's why both spiritual, both physically, you need to be ready to know when you are being manipulated. Pay attention to his words.
Will love us enough to give us this, his kingdom, on the face of this very earth. That was why, in his infinite mercy, Eastern Security Network was established to secure land. And anybody foolish enough, anybody stupid enough to seek confrontation with us, as I have said previously, before you come to look for us, before you enter into our forest to perhaps die there, because you all will perish anyway. Look at Yemen, look at Somalia, and look at Syria. Let them be at the back of your minds. Whoever is charged with making that very decision to launch an armed confrontation against the Eastern Security Network. I'm saying this to the hearing of the whole world. As you all know me, I do not do anything in secret. Everything we do is out in the open. Anybody foolish enough, because I know the Janjaweed, they're very foolish. You know, the Fulani, they have what I call the mentality or the mindset of Mohammed Siad Barre, the erstwhile president of Somalia. They never reason, they never listen. They are not intelligent enough to understand when the end has come. The only people supporting them is Britain. And we are not going to fool ourselves. Britain does wield a very considerable clout. They are taking our oil in our land. Now they have found gold also in the north. So the zoo has never failed, not once in its entire, should I say, 60-year history, to serve the interest of our colonial masters, those that created us. People say God created. I said to them, you are very, very foolish. God never created Nigeria. A man and a woman did. They are mortal flesh and they are dead. The same way they died is how the zoo is going to die. Nobody can save Nigeria. Nobody can, because it is written. How I want people, those who are averse to history, those who don't understand history very well, even those who claim they are writers, they are novelists. You know the thing about we black people, once you do something and you get accolade or praise from white people or from BBC, you think you've arrived. That's the one thing about our people. You think once they give you one award or the other, once a white man confers that legitimacy or validity on your work or your talent, you feel you've arrived. One major mistake that black people always make: efforts to divide the East. How has it been possible to keep Nigeria as one, as a failed state that it is, as a terror-ravaged contraption that it is, as an abomination that it is? How have they managed to keep Nigeria together? Look no further than what happened during the End SARS protest. When I preach all the time, and I say to black people that your mental weakness, your inability to reason properly is why you are suffering, they say it's an insult. No, it is not. They managed to divide those who are protesting by introducing two key elements they know will appeal to their primordial instincts. What are those? Religion and ethnicity. Let me tell you something you don't understand. That is the only instrument the Europeans had to divide and conquer Africa. What they did was to pass it on to the Fulani Janjaweed. And with the help of the Fulani and traitors in our midst, in the entire South, both Yoruba and in Biafra, both in Oduduwa and Biafra, it appears that they have managed to now gain the upper hand in the past decades. These continued efforts to divide the East, I can assure them tonight, has failed and will continue to fail. And I want our people from Igodomigodo to Bakassi, from Idoma land to Opobo to understand this. They come to you, they plead with you to amplify your ethnicity against one another. It's a very clever trick. Whereas over the years, if not since the coming of this Janjaweed Caliphate government of the late dead Buhari, before now, it was IPOB and Radio Biafra that made it possible for people to distinguish between a Fulani and a Hausa person. Before, I'm sure all of you go back to your history, you say Fulani, Hausa Fulani. It was on this very platform, painstakingly, we lectured and educated people to understand that Hausa is different from Fulani. The same people who they're like parasites. The same people who over the years, we are trying as much as possible to have this cohesion between Fulani and Hausa together as one political bloc. When they come to our land, they tell you we believe that the restoration of Biafra is
Apparently, that is the end of this video. And that will be the end of our program tonight. Until we see you again. Make sure you stay safe. Love is the biggest weapon. Love is the biggest weapon, the biggest drone, the biggest obstacle to your enemy is love. Learn how to love your people. Learn how to love your people and love whom you are. Learn how to love your identity. It is good night.